Hey guys, it's Danny, and today I am sharing a seriously fun and delicious recipe with you guys. I am making homemade, clean and delicious Chipwich sandwiches. Now, I was inspired to make this as a dessert for Father's Day, which is coming up this weekend, but by all means, you don't have to wait for a holiday to enjoy this treat. Before I get started, I just want to take a minute to welcome all of the new subscribers. Welcome to our clean and delicious family. We have a very supportive group here, so if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I do my best to answer as many as I can, and then you'll see all the other peeps in the community also support each other by answering and giving tips as well. So guys, remember, it's not me leading you, it's all of us coming together to support one another. Now, for the cookie portion of this recipe, I am using my gluten-free chocolate chunk cookies. I have shared this recipe with you guys in the past. This is our family's go-to chocolate chip cookie recipe, so I make them whenever we're looking for chocolate chip cookies. Now, you don't have to use this recipe. You can use any recipe you like, but you just want to make sure that you're using a recipe that doesn't get super crisp and crunchy. You need it to be a little bit chewy so it has some flexibility when you're building your sandwich. Now, what I love so much about this recipe is that it uses only 6 ingredients, and it's basically just dump and stir. So I've got my oven preheating at 350 degrees, and for the cookies, I'm going to combine 1 cup of unsalted, all-natural creamy almond butter, 1 egg, 3/4 cup of coconut sugar. You could also do a turbinado sugar here, or really any granulated sugar that you have on hand. A teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, and then 3 ounces of chopped up dark chocolate. Now, while you could certainly use chocolate chips for this recipe, I find that buying a good quality dark chocolate bar and then chopping it up yourself brings these cookies from really good to, oh my God, insanely amazing. So what I like to do is buy the dark chocolate bar from Trader Joe's, and then I just measure it and chop it up. But hey guys, that's just me. I'm dying to know about you. Come on down to the comments below and let me know, are you team chocolate chip or are you team chocolate chunk? So I'm gonna gently mix this all together until you see a nice cookie dough coming together. And then here I've got a rimmed baking sheet that is lined with a silat mat. You could also use some parchment paper. Now, I'm not usually one for precision, but for this recipe, the closer we can get all the cookies to being the same size, the better, because it will be easier to stack them to make the Sammy. So what I like to do is I just take a tablespoon, scoop up the dough, and then I place it right in my hand and kind of shape it into a ball and squish it down. So it's kind of like a disc. And then you just lay that on the baking sheet and continue until you've done all the batter. You're gonna get 12 cookies on each sheet, 18 cookies total. Once you've got all your cookies set up and ready to go, you're gonna pop them into that 350-degree oven for 12 minutes or until they are lightly browned and set up. So while the cookies are cooling, let's chat for just a second. So these Chipwich sandwiches are meant to be a higher quality version of the ones you would buy at the grocery store. They are not a low-calorie dessert. But with that being said, I do try to keep them a little bit lighter by using a lighter ice cream option. Now, initially my intention was to use my homemade banana ice cream. That's when you make soft serve creamy ice cream from frozen bananas. And if that's something you guys are interested in, remember I do have an ebook that shares over 30 recipes. I will leave a link down in the description box below. You can buy that and check them out. But the thing with banana ice cream is that once you freeze it, it gets very hard. It's really best when you eat it fresh. So instead of that, I opted to use this ice cream called Halo Top that I found at the grocery store, and a lot of people on social media had told me about. Comes in a lot of different flavors, and it's an all-natural, lighter ice cream. And I have to say, I find it to be rather enjoyable. But by all means, choose the ice cream or the frozen yogurt that lights you up, that turns you on, that rings your bells. Pick something you like. So once your cookies have completely cooled, you're gonna wanna set up your ice cream cookie making station. Very simple to do. You're gonna have your cooled off cookies, then you're gonna have your ice cream with an ice cream scoop. Then you're gonna need some mini chocolate chips, and I like to put these into a wide, shallow bowl because it makes it very easy to get them on the outside of the Sammy. And then finally, you're gonna need a little bit of cling wrap because guys, you ain't got a thing if you don't have that cling. You think they're too young for that joke? Okay, so now for the fun part. You're gonna take 2 cookies, put them top side down. Then you're gonna take a small scoop of ice cream. You wanna avoid the temptation to overstuff the cookies. No overstuffing, right? So small scoop, put that right on top of one of the halves. Then pop the other cookie on top and gently squish it down. Pro tip, my friends, use all of your fingers to gently push the cookie down with equal pressure so the cookie doesn't crack or break off anywhere. Slow and steady pressure right there, slow and steady. Then you're gonna take that cookie and roll the edges in the mini chocolate chips. This is what gives it that official Chipwich flavor and look. And then from here, you're gonna put the cookie on a little piece of plastic wrap, the cling wrap, and we're going to gently fold it over around the cookie, and then this is another tip, roll it softly on the counter, because what that does is it just pushes the chips into the ice cream around the edges so that they really stick. And then as soon as you're done with it, boop, into the freezer. And then you're gonna continue doing this until you've worked through all of the cookies. You are gonna get 9 ice cream sandwiches if you use the recipe that I shared. Then you're gonna wanna let those sandwiches set up in the freezer for at least an hour, but they can also last several weeks in there. So this is definitely a dessert that you can make ahead of time. And then when you're ready to eat them, check it out. You just take them out of the freezer, pull off the plastic wrap, and you have this beautiful, clean and delicious homemade chocolate Chipwich sandwich. Now, just like a traditional Chipwich, you might need to give it a minute or 2 just to soften up, but once it's ready to go, check this out. Wait for it. If you are never gonna try any other of my recipes, please do yourself a favor and try this one. They are such a fun and delicious treat to make at home. And if you have not already given this video a big thumbs up, why don't you go ahead and do that right now? Make sure to subscribe and share this video with anybody else you know who's trying to keep things healthy and yummy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Danny Spies. I will see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers. For Father's Day, which is coming up this weekend, but don't think you need a holiday. For Father's Day, but you don't have to have a holiday. But you don't have to have a holiday to enjoy this delicious treat. Your sandwich. What I love about... Good timing.